Great job there. They accentuated what their man needed to do. In Dawson's case, they want that movement and the jab and the boxing, and for Johnson, they wanted him to step to the left so that he would stop the movement and work that body. So both corners accentuating two important things.
And Johnson is beginning to pick off more shots with his gloves. Johnson's defense is better than Dawson's. There has been almost no let-up in the action. Oh, booming right hand off the combination by Dawson.
Chad Dawson in the first 4+ rounds has thrown some hellacious combinations, many of them landing, and to Johnson's credit, he has shaken them off.
We have seen some thundering shots.
Nice little right hand on the inside by Johnson.
Press road scoring, unofficial. How do you like that? It's that close.
Yeah, and those are all fair scores. I have it even. You could have it for Dawson 3-1. That's certainly conceivable.
Eddie Daniels, the Tampa Tribune. Martin Rogers, Yahoo Sports. Patrick Sheehan, the Sun.
Big right by Johnson. He got that punch in again.
It's been a winner.
The volume of punches are better for Dawson, but some of these big shots for Johnson are making a difference. Wow, are they banging to the body?
They are just hammering away. And these punches with hurtful intent.
Glen Johnson has already been involved in some classic light heavyweight matches. He's in another one tonight.
Well, if Dawson came into this fight, Al, respecting Glen Johnson, he really respects him now.
Boy, does he ever. And Dawson's hands are so low. See, there's no let-up. Glen Johnson pressures you every second of every round. It's tough to get past that. And good body work by Johnson. This is a close round, but Johnson's really doing a good job here now.
Well, we said before the fight, this will probably be the night where Chad Dawson gets his biggest and hardest test, and it is coming to fruition. Hammering shots to the head by Chad Dawson. Those are chopping rights. He's got a great chopping right, and as Al pointed out, Dawson's been down twice recently off right hands.
Yeah, those rights by Johnson, very, very effective.
And he just keeps coming and coming. No let up by Johnson. Oh, big left hook to the jaw by Glen Johnson. He has thrown everything. A right hand off the top of Dawson's head by Johnson.
Dawson switching to righty momentarily, and I don't know why.
A worried look on the face of Chad Dawson.
Go.
He is being stalked around the ring by 39-year-old Glen Johnson.
You know, Dawson said before the fight, it's going to be target practice because I'm going to be able to hit Glen Johnson. Well, he has been able to hit Glen Johnson, but he hasn't been able to discourage him from coming in, and that's the story of most of Johnson's fights.
Glen Johnson saying phooey on Chad Dawson being the future of the light heavyweight division. He says, I am up to now. We'll see what happens from this moment on.
It's been a very well-fought match by both men. That's the part that I think is the headline here. Both men doing a great job. Look at Johnson working the inside. You don't want to be on the inside if you're Dawson like that. Don't give him the opportunity to crank up those hooks and throw those short little right hands.
Don't leave it out. You got to punch.
Round 6 scheduled for 12 for the WBC light heavyweight title. 25-year-old Chad Dawson, undefeated, 25-0, 17 knockouts in the camouflage 39-year young. Glen Johnson, 47, 11-2.
Well put, 39 years young. Dawson using the jab, but more as a rangefinder. They need that punch to be more definitive from him. This is really a close round, one of the closest rounds, I think.
And Johnson just keeps pressing forward, going to the body, pushing Dawson back, straight back. And Johnson's smart. He's keeping it in the center of the ring. He's not allowing Dawson to get him on the ropes where he's very dangerous. Good straight left, but that was blocked. That was blocked by Johnson. And then Johnson answers with a fiery right. Hard body shots by Dawson. Trying to wear Johnson out.
The Dawson jab, along with this movement, has created some problems for Johnson. And the question in this round, will the judges like a couple of the big shots Johnson has landed or the activity of Dawson?
Dawson going to more movement now, hearing some boos, but it's not a bad strategy. You hear the boos because he's trying to now go to a strategy of tiring Johnson out.
Well, this is the way Chad Dawson right now has to go at this fight.
The longer this goes, the better it is for the younger legs of Dawson. And then Dawson comes back and shoots a straight left hand to the head.
A good tactical round for Dawson. Better than the last one, that's for sure.
And Johnson going to the midsection. You know that's got to be bothering Dawson. Trying to set it up for the later round, trying to soften Dawson up. That's his M.O.
Two things bother Glen Johnson, hand speed and foot speed. And Dawson's showing both in this round.
And that's what Eddie Mustafa Muhammad asked of him. You got to box this guy. You can't fight his fight.
Stop! All right, let's go. Time!
They know the strength of their men, and Eddie Mustafa Muhammad,
get in that towel, blue corner.
You can tell he kind of feels like there's a chance that Dawson could slow down and be a little tired. He wants it in his mind. You are not tired, and you are fighting exactly the same way. And the way that was a productive pep talk from Eddie Mustafa Muhammad and from Orlando Cuellar as well.
Johnson again, ripping to the body with the left. Round 7. Scheduled for 12, WBC light heavyweight title, halfway there.
You know, Glen Johnson's had 3 different careers, really. He was 32-0, then he lost to Bernard Hopkins. Then he went 7-8-2 after that. Then he went 7-2 since then, along with those championships wins. So it's a play in 3 acts.
Interesting press row scoring. 2 of them have Dawson up by 2. 1 has it even.
I have it even at 57. Nice right hook by Dawson.
Huge right hook by Chad Dawson. But Johnson just keeps coming ahead.
You know, Glen Johnson's not cutting off the ring. He's following him around the ring, and that's to his detriment. He needs to be cutting the ring off and then getting something done on the inside against Dawson. Give Chad Dawson a lot of credit, and Eddie Mustafa Muhammad as well. They've changed strategies more to what we thought would work in the beginning, and he is executing it extremely well. And
now Dawson going more to that right hook, which is an exquisite weapon. Watch out for the double right hook. Hey, if you're a conventional fighter against Dawson, you don't know which way to go.
And let me tell you something else that's happened. Glen Johnson throwing fewer punches. So is he wearing down from the punishment, body attack he's taken and having to move around this ring so much?
That's what Eddie Mustafa Muhammad is hoping.
And no jab from Johnson. Very little coming from him in terms of a jab.
He said to Dawson earlier, don't look for the knockout. It'll come. And that's what Dawson is doing. He takes advice well. Combination of the head by Dawson. Dawson now looks to be back in the saddle. Under 30 seconds left of the 7th. Johnson slowing down. Dawson picking up. They want Johnson to pick it up in the corner. And he does.
Wow, that's a right hand from Johnson. But a great round for Chad Dawson.
Listen for the bell, guys.
First he plays keep away, and then he lands a straight left. Field, Johnson won all 3.
Glen Johnson has had some hellaciously bad decisions. This is a very close fight, and he's in a position now where clearly if this thing heads toward a decision, he's going to have to make sure he controls and dominates some of these rounds.
A lot of movement by Dawson. An abrasion under the left eye of Dawson. Not in a bad place.
That last round was a superb round for Dawson, but Glen Johnson was able to land a couple of good right hands toward the end of the round. And we have to remember that one more of those right hands that really hurts Dawson could alter this fight. And this round, Johnson's throwing more punches. He kind of took that last round off. I really think he was taking the last round off. I think he was conserving a little energy. Now the jab comes back from Johnson.
Using all the tricks he can muster at this stage of the game.
He is making Chad Dawson fight a great fight, and Dawson is.
Well, this was supposed to be a test for Chad Dawson. We'll still see if he passes the test. Great combination by Chad Dawson upstairs just a second ago.
It is certainly that. You know, something to mention here. Chad Dawson started out at 168 pounds, still could fight at 168 pounds. Some people wonder if against the top light heavyweights, his power will be sufficient. Well, he's landed some major punches against Glen Johnson. Hasn't hurt him yet. But he's not the only one that hasn't hurt Glen Johnson, because Johnson's never been down.
Dazzling combination by Chad Dawson. And then he gets out of the harm's way. Minute to go, round 8. The punches losing steam by Glen Johnson. Not that one. Straight right hand that sent Dawson back.
Dawson's making the 39-year-old Johnson use his legs a lot in this fight. He's hoping that will bear, fruit as this fight wears on. Nice uppercut by Dawson. That was a good punch.
And I truly believe he was steered back in the right direction by Eddie Mustafa Muhammad.
Absolutely. He was letting his macho get the better of him in some of those early rounds.
Well, you know where to find Glen Johnson. He's right in front of you. Yeah. Nary a clinch. It has been non-stop action. Digging to the body is Dawson. Back comes Johnson.
Man, that's great action on the inside by both men.
No more.
Huge shots at the bell by both. Well, there's no doubt about it in the Glen Johnson corner. They say, Glen, you got to go out there and win these last 4 rounds.
Well, I think they believe that they think their man's in it. He said the pressure might be enough, but, to make it happen, they've been on the short end of so many decisions. Now, I have Dawson ahead by a couple of points. I suspect he's ahead in this fight. Maybe not by as much as Eddie Mustafa says, but still, you would think he's probably ahead in this fight. But Glen Johnson listening to his corner and coming right out and blasting away. Orlando Cuellar made an impression on him.
Both fighters fighting bravely. As we check in on press row once again, how do they have it? Eddie Daniels by 2 for Dawson. Rogers by 4 for Dawson. Sheehan by 4 for Dawson.
I've got the same score as Eddie Daniels, 77-75. There's a chopping right hand by Johnson on the inside. That was a great punch. Did it impact Dawson? Let's see. Oh, another one. You can make a case, it's true Dawson's younger, but Glen Johnson lives for 12-round fights. So you can make the case that even at 39, he could do well in his later rounds. Not out of the question.
Dawson's been the 12-round distance 2 times. Of course, 2-0. They were against Adamek and Harding. Adamek to win the title, and he went down in the last round of that fight. He went down in the first round against Harding. Some anxious moments in that Adamek fight, but he was in control throughout, except for that knockdown.
This is a very close round here in round 9. Dawson's come back with some great combinations, but Johnson did very good work early, and there he does another right hand on the inside.
To your point, Al, Johnson's been 12 rounds 10 times, 5-4-1. But his last 12-round fight, September 06, he lost controversially to Clinton Woods.
And you can make the case, even though it's just barely an over 500 record, a couple of those could easily have gone to him. This is a pivotal round 9. Is it going for Johnson or Dawson?
We approach 30 seconds.
Dawson is starting to miss a little and throw some wider punches. Is that a sign of fatigue? We'll see.
It's close, all right. Final flurry could win over the judges if it comes. 20 seconds. Good straight left hand there by Dawson.
Good body shot by Glen Johnson.
10 seconds.